Hey everybody. So on the occasion of getting a new hat, I thought I need to do a video because my hat needs to be shown. So I thought I'd talk about, and I've been kind of planning to do this for a couple of days. So I thought I would talk about our diminutive, little, it means small, uh, prospect, Cole Caulfield. Cole Caulfield is currently he's in the World Junior Championships right now, but this season he's playing in the NCAA for the Wisconsin Badgers, having a good season. I believe he has, I want to say 13 goals, but 12, somewhere between 12, 13, 14, something like that goals. Don't know how many assists. Having a good season, near the top of the NCAA in goals, and just having a good season. Typical Cole Caulfield, sniping away. And so he goes to the World Championship, and in the I guess the tune-up games before the pre-tournament games, playing well. The last game before the actual tournament, scores 4 goals. Wow, you figure, okay, Cole Caulfield is set to probably at least to make a run at the MVP of the tournament, and maybe even setting a record in either goals or points. So I'm all excited because I can see a few videos coming out about Caulfield, how he's doing, and blah blah blah, and it looks good. And I'm all excited for the Habs prospect, and let him get some world stage. You know what I'm talking about. I'm excited for the kid. So what happens? First game comes out around, and the coach, who's Scott Sandlin, I believe, who was he's an average hockey player when he played. What does he do? He puts Caulfield on, I think, the third or fourth or either or both lines with, not really great talent. I mean, they're at the World Junior Championship. They're good players. I'm not saying they're sucky players, but I mean, Caulfield should be in the top two line. He should be getting big minutes. He wasn't getting a lot of minutes, and he should be getting power play time. And I think he was getting like 20 seconds a game. Power play time. That's not. I mean, I don't understand why you would do that when you got a guy like that. I don't get it. And not. I mean, Canada beat them. They weren't like dominating that. Oh, we can keep Caulfield in the back. We don't need him. So then apparently, okay. Oh, wait. Before I get to what happened after, so you go on Twitter, and oh my God, he's a bust. Why did Montreal take him? I knew he was too small. He can't do anything. He's no good. Like all over the place, to the point where you don't even want to go on Twitter because you don't want to see all the stuff that's written that's just plain flat out idiotic, moronic, and just plain dumb. Why would any why would the kid be so good in NCAA? Then the next week he's a bust and he can't play and he's no good and he can't shoot and he can't do this and can't do that. Is it people who don't watch the games? That's it. See, I didn't watch the games. I didn't, although I got the first game a couple days later on YouTube. Someone put it up. But I didn't panic. I read what's going on, see that, oh, he's not playing top minutes. He's not playing top line. What do you expect? Like, what the hell's going on? But I mean, what do you expect from Caulfield? Not his fault. So then what happens? Someone hits him in the head with a shovel. Um, his wife wouldn't sleep with him anymore. Like, I don't know what happened. He puts him back to where he should be. Now, I don't know what happened in game 3, and maybe this is game 3 that I'm seeing the results of today. I could be off. Um, so then he scores the overtime winner on a beautiful snipe. Who sets him up? Alex Turcotte, his teammate and line mate, I believe, in college, who's on the World Junior Championship, and they don't play them together till this game, and the results are there. And then what happens? You go on Twitter. Oh, he's the best. Oh, our guy, we love him. He's the greatest. Well, you were just saying he's finished. Okay, so he scores a goal. Now he's the best. But he was finished, and now he's the best. He was the best. Then he's finished. He's done. Why did we take him? And now, oh, he's great. Like, I don't understand people. Panic. Stop panicking, people. It it's a good point for what's going on with the big team right now. Yeah, it's not good. Things aren't happening that are good right now. They might not make the playoffs. No time to panic. Look at Nick Suzuki. We're going to talk about him. Look at Nick Suzuki. He's got points in his last 5 games. He's got 7 or 8, I'm not sure, in those 5 games. He's got 23 points now in 38 games played. He's on pace for a 50-point season in his rookie season. Is that a bust? No. So there's point of light. What does that mean? 50 points in his first season. Look at the way the guy plays. Look at his vision. Look at the kind of passes he makes. Look at the anticipation, especially on the defensive side. Look at his anticipation. How many times he's getting intercepting passes. He's amazing. What does that mean in another 2-3 years? Probably in his 30. He's only 20. By the time this kid's 23, 24, you see like Sebastian Aho or name any of those top kids that are up there that are around that age that are phenomenons. That's how you say it. Nick Suzuki's going to be like that guy. We're going to have one of those guys on the team, not having to offer sheet for him, not having to trade away the farm for him. All it takes is a little bit of patience. So everybody panicking, they're not going to make the playoffs. They suck. Get rid of everybody. But no, we need a little patience in a couple of years. But everybody comes. It's going to happen, guys. Nick Suzuki, this is one of these amazing kids that we see on everybody else's goddamn team, and Montreal never has. We have one. Caulfield is going to be here next year. I don't know if it's Caulfield or Caulfield anymore. I heard it was Caulfield, but however you want to call him, Caulfield, however you want to call him, he's going to be here next year. Is he going to be super awesome? No, not next year. In 2-3 years. So is Nick Suzuki in 2-3 years. So is Jesperi Kotkaniemi in 2-3 years. So is Ryan Poehling in 2-3 years. So is Caden Primo in 2-3 years. Now you get the picture of what I'm trying to say here. Patience, guys. Patience, and this team is going to provide for us what we're begging for, which is a legitimate top contending team. All it takes is patience. Let the kids develop and come up and start playing. And look, and I forgot one, Cale Fleury. Look at this kid. And talking about size, Cale Fleury's got the size. Ryan Poehling's got the size. Nick Suzuki's not a shrimp. He's 5'11", probably will hit 6 feet. 6-footer. He's on the small side of big, but so it's patience, guys. Patience. It's funny. It's not exactly what I wanted to talk about, but hey, I'm doing this impromptu. It might end up being my. I didn't do a Vodcast. Apparently, that's what I do. It's not a podcast. It's a Vodcast. I didn't do one last week. I was supposed to. I didn't. Just nothing to talk about. This might be it. We're going to talk about stuff. Talking about prospects, and we'll go to KK. Look at KK. You want to talk? People are saying, KK needs to go to Val. He's not ready. Maybe he's a bust. We should have taken Brady Tkachuk. I was a Brady Tkachuk guy. I wanted to see Brady Tkachuk being taken. I never heard of Kotkaniemi. Honestly, I had never heard of him. Am I sad we've got Kotkaniemi and not Tkachuk? No, not really. I'm not. I think KK is going to give us what we're looking for. Also, another 2-3 years, he's building up to it. He will get better. Look at his play. Look at those 2 goals he scored. That laser shot. Oh my God, was that a beauty? He's starting to find those things that he had that we saw in all his highlights once we picked him up and we started watching his highlights. We all started to, and we saw some of the stuff he could do. He's just starting to. Remember Nick Suzuki 20 games ago? He was just starting to get it. Look at him now, 20 games later. That's confidence. That's what it takes. And if you look at KK, this was what I was worried about. And I said this in my preview to yesterday's game. Whatever the first game was. No, it wasn't yesterday's. The Tampa game. My only concern for KK is when he comes back, is he going to be game ready? He answered the bell first game with a goal. He answered the bell second game with a goal. He answers the bell. When you look at him play, he doesn't look like a 19-year-old player. He doesn't. He's starting to look more confident. Is he making mistakes? Yeah, sure he is. He's 19. He's going to make mistakes for another couple of years. How do you learn and get better if you don't make mistakes? I think this is something that people, I don't understand how you figured that, what they can only make mistakes in practice and fix it. No, they make the mistakes on the ice. They might cost a goal. It might cost a game. But a player like Suzuki, like KK, like Fleury, like Ryan Poehling, they learn. They're coachable. They learn, and they learn from their mistakes, and they go on. All it takes, again, is patience from the fans. Don't panic. Don't panic, and have patience. And this team is going to be everything I think we want. Alex Romanov, he's in the Junior Championships right now too. No points, but if you watch Romanov's play, you can't tell me Romanov's not NHL ready. So it's starting to look like we can say Romanov will probably be here next spring. It's starting to look positive that he's not going to stay in the KHL for another year or two. That he wants to be here, and he doesn't mind taking less money for the first couple of years to play here. Because the KHL, if he stays there, they can sign him to whatever they feel like paying him. Here, he's bound by the entry-level contract. So, but it seems like he's going to be here next season. Watch him play. This guy is probably the best defenseman in the tournament, and he was last year. He was named that, and he might get named that again, best defenseman in the tournament 2 years in a row, which is a rare occasion, apparently, a rare accomplishment, apparently. Not too many. Very rarely happens to get best defenseman 2 years in a row. So the future's bright, but once again, Alex Romanov, is he NHL ready? I believe he is. Will he come in and be a superstar? He may, but more than likely, 2-3 years down the road, he's going to be starting to be at his best. Now you can count them off. How many is that? 5, 6, 7 guys that are going to be in that category in 2-3 years down the road. Can you imagine the team we're going to have? Patience. I can't say it more. Maybe that's what I'll call this vodcast. Patience. Don't panic. So that's Alex. Look who's coming up. Look who we have right now, okay, of the kids. We've already got 3 of the kids in the lineup. Cale Fleury, Nick Suzuki, Ryan Poehling. That's 3 kids making contributions, playing well, starting to look like real NHLers. Nick Suzuki does. He looks like he's been playing for 10 years. Cale Fleury starting to look a lot better, more comfortable, not nervous, laying the body, playing hard. I like this kid. We're going to add, more than likely, I think we're going to add Cole Caulfield next year, and Caulfield, and Alex Romanov. That's 2 more. That's 5 young players, and maybe there'll be a 3rd one next year as well. So that youth shift is happening, and the quality of the play from the kids is really good. Is really good. We're not used to that. I haven't seen that since the 80s, maybe. Sometime in the 80s, where we saw kids come up that were good and playing and developed. Haven't seen that in a long time here in Montreal. So patience, everybody. Don't panic. I think what we have here is we have a really good team coming. We have a good team here right now, but we're missing parts. We're missing consistency. I called the review of the Florida game, Team Jekyll, Team Hyde. This is a team. How does a team go into Winnipeg, play a pretty good Winnipeg team, but dominate them in their home rink? The next day, start off. Well, not the next day. A couple days in between, but the next game, start off the same way, and then just fall apart. And now they're shaky, and you don't know what. How is that? How does that happen to a team? And it's not just this time. They've done it all year long. Played great, played crappy. Played great against the good teams, played crappy against the bad teams, and I don't understand it. Team Jekyll, Team Hyde. That's what we got here. The way to change that, the way to get that consistency, is to develop players. Develop good quality hockey players from your system onto the big club. And that's the way to change that. Be consistent. Win games. Win championships that way. win divisions, get into the playoffs, and win series, and eventually you get to the end. So somebody, I want to say, who was it? 1111, one of my subscribers, who we have a back and forth about size and this team, and how he was saying that, because I'm saying I want them to get to the playoffs. I don't want them to be one of the teams that gets a lottery, that wins the lottery, because I want them to be in the playoffs. And he was saying, what's the use of going to the playoffs if you can't win the cup? Well, I'm going to answer you here now because I don't have to type. So 11-11, hopefully you're still watching. Here's the difference. Very few Stanley Cup champions won the cup in their first time into the playoffs, right? So in other words, you got to get to the playoffs. You got to, if you win the cup, you win the cup, but you got to get there. You got to lose, and you got to learn, and you got to get back, and you got to start winning. I mean, that's how you learn. That's how you learn how to win in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Now, not every team. Look, St. Louis, I don't know. I guess they've been in the playoffs. I guess what I'm saying is a team like Montreal, who's missed the last 3 and possibly now 4 years in a row to get in. It's like a new team. They're young. You got a lot of kids. You got to get into the playoffs and learn by getting there and playing and maybe losing and then coming back and fixing what went wrong the first time. So I don't agree that what's the use of getting to the playoffs if you're not going to win the cup, if you don't think you're going to win the cup. I don't agree with that, because anything can happen in the playoffs. And the experience is invaluable when you have a young team. And if you want to say Montreal's not a young team, you're wrong. You're wrong, because half this team, if not more, are under the age of 25. Maybe not more, but half. And if you want to go to 27 and say, it's like over half the team are that young. There's not a lot of older players. So this is a young team that's going to need experience, how to win in the playoffs. And that's how you get it. You got to get there. You got to get there to win it. And you might lose and get back and win it. So that's what I'm saying. So it's again, patience, and don't panic. Don't panic and tell them, hey, you got to do something. Sometimes management, they get such a protest and maybe people stop going to the games, and then they panic and make a panic move because they got to satisfy the fan base. But if the fan base is smart and they look and see what's happening here and the kids and the prospects and what's really happening, and forget about the last few years. Forget about when he made mistakes, Bergevin. He was not a really good GM. Forget about that, because we're living in today and going forward. And to do that, you gotta have patience. You can't panic. You can't scream and yell. If they lose a game, they lose a game. It's not the end of the world. You'll get up tomorrow and life goes on. The team goes on. They'll win another game down the road. They may lose. Still not over. It's still not the end of the world. Montreal, typical Montreal fans, they lose a game, it's over. Next game they win. Oh, they're the best. They're the best. Lose the next game. These guys suck. Get rid of everybody. I mean, come on. Can't do that. It doesn't work. So even thinking that and saying that, is that really a solution? Does anybody think that's really a solution? You lose a game, you got to trade people. No. You have to win by consistency. Lines staying together, people playing even if they make mistakes. That's how you get there. Even Carey Price, who's a veteran, a long-time veteran, he's in a bad slump right now. Do we say just, we'll get rid of him? He's not. No, he has to play through it. He has to play through it and get better, and he has to do it. By putting in Primo in that kind of pressure, you think that's really going to be good, putting Primo as the starter for the rest of the season? No, and everyone's going to say, well, you said it in another video. No, I didn't say that. Sorry. What I said was it might be good to bring Primo up for 3, maybe 4 game starts in a row and give Price a bit of a break. But then they did play him last night, and I thought it was good for him to get back on the horse. Results weren't great, but really analyze those goals. There were a few of those goals, probably 3 or 4 of those goals. He had 0 chance on them. Like 0 chance. So I don't, So, okay, so that's my rant on the team and what's going on. And I think really, listen, everybody, just stop trading people, stop firing Bergevin, stop firing Julian. Things are going good. There's holes on the team. Till those are repaired or filled, we're going to have these problems. But in between, we're going in the right direction. That's the main thing. We're going in the right direction. Okay, I also want to say Shea Weber, it's been announced Shea Weber was named to the All-Star game. It's the All-Star team for the 7th time in his career. So I guess I haven't heard anybody else from Montreal going, which is a bit of a surprise. You'd think one more guy would go. But Shea Weber might be the only Hab going. And I haven't heard it is refused, so maybe he's going. He should be going. The hardest shot competition is going to be good. Okay, so my dough is rising in the oven and the beeper's telling me to go. So I guess at 20 minutes, that's going to be my vodcast for this week. It's turning into a vodcast. So hopefully everybody liked it. If you did, give a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the notifications bell, and that's going to get you more vodcasts, more rants from me. And who knows, sometimes, I don't know, I wasn't really planning anything. I said, got a new hat, turn the camera on, let's talk about a few things. So that's how we got there. So, okay, so... thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Go Habs, go! Still, maybe with this. There you go. I just figured I got to change hands. Go Habs, go! It went too fast. Okay, I'll figure it out one of these days, guys. Not that you really care, but it's a me thing. I do that in all my videos. Okay, so now I'm rambling. It's the end of the vodcast. So this has been the penalty box, kind of impromptu being the penalty box vodcast. And there you go. So have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching. And I think, just don't panic. Enjoy the games. Things are looking good. Watch Nick Suzuki, Cale Fleury, Ryan Poehling. Key on those guys. Watch their games grow. You're going to have fun. Okay, thanks, everybody, for watching. Once again, I'm saying it. And see you next time. Bye, y'all.